What's My Line? Brought to you by Geritol, the high-potency vitamin iron-rich tonic in liquid or tablets to help you feel stronger. And now, let's all play What's My Line? And now, live from New York, let's meet our What's My Line panel. First, the delightful star of stage and television, Miss Arlene Francis.
And now I am delighted to present to you the Heart Ambassador, a gentleman who has come east just for the Heart Association, and there isn't a better Valentine that we could have than Bobby Darin.
Good evening, and I am proud to welcome a young lady who is a charming young lady and also an internationally renowned columnist, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
Now, I would like to introduce What's My Line's answer to the Beatles, Mr. Bennett Cerf.
Here is our hirsute and undeniably handsome panel moderator, John Ringo Daly.
Bennett, you obviously have the Beatles on your mind.
So the Ed Sullivan Show.
We had the Beatles next door tonight. And you talk about obstacle races. This is a real obstacle race we've had. Mr. Darin, it's nice to see you on the panel, sir.
Thank you, John. Nice to be here.
Good to have you here. Good to have you here in such a worthy cause, and we hope that you enjoy the next half hour. In fact, we have a special treat for you all tonight. You get your blindfolds ready, because we're going to start with blindfolds. And on top of that special surprise, we will also have a famous mystery challenger for our friends on the panel a little bit later in the program, but we'll meet our first challenger after this.
We'll be right back with Take This Job.
In view of our surprises this evening, panel, may I ask if all the blindfolds are in place?
Yes, sir.
If they are, would our first challenger enter and sign in, please? All right, panel, we can tell you that our guest is self-employed and deals in a service, and we would let the people at home and those who are sitting here in the theater know exactly what our guest's line is. And now, to start the general questioning, Arlene Francis.
Does your service have anything to do with the arts?
Yes?
Is it one of the performing arts rather than the graphic arts?
Sometimes.
Are you yourself a performer?
Yep.
Are we blindfolded on the panel because we would recognize you?
Probably.
Are you appearing at the present time in any Broadway production?
Nope.
1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Darin.
Why aren't you the mystery guest is what I want to know.
They're tricky
Let me
on this
think.
show, Bob.
Yeah, exactly. Would you be found, would your picture in reproduction be found particularly in the, possibly be found in the sports sections as well as the entertainment sections of a newspaper?
Nope.
2 down and 8 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
When you do what you do you ever have music accompanying you?
Yep.
You're still it, Dorothy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was mystery guest time. Do you yourself play a musical instrument?
No.
That's 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Cerf.
You said you were not in a Broadway production at the time, but might you be rehearsing for one?
Yep.
Miss I'm sorry, Bennett.
What?
I'm sorry, I nearly made a mistake. dreadful thought, but you carry on.
In the play for which you're rehearsing, do you do any singing yourself?
No?
4 down and 6 to go.
I know who it is.
Miss Francis?
If Bennett knows who it is, can he tell me?
Well, you can have 30 seconds for a conference. That's
May we?
fair.
Well, I would
Bennett?
think, well, this is just a guess, but I think it's Emily Williams. But I may be
Emily
wrong.
Williams with that accent?
Who was Emily Williams?
Great star and actor and playwright.
I just thought I was being left out or something.
No, he's a Welsh actor and a very fine writer, too.
30 seconds are up.
All right, we have
Arlene?
just ruled out Emily Williams. Thank you, Bennett Cerf. But are you rehearsing in a musical comedy that is about to appear on Broadway?
Yes?
Would you be the leading man in this particular musical?
No?
That makes it 5 down and 5 to go, Mr. Darin.
You would not consider a show that was being publicly previewed in rehearsal, would you? Hadn't opened to the public in general.
That's right. It's about to open,
about-
and in
about
the
to
full
open.
sense of opening.
That does away with that.
But wait, Bobby is confused. Are they having previews? That's what he wanted
That's
to
what I
know.
was trying to find
No,
out.
the issue, we're here, the question has been asked as to whether our guest is involved in a musical which is about to open on Broadway. And we mean here open in the full and formal sense.
Yeah, then I take it I was in the right area then.
That's
Possibly some people have seen it in New York already, although it hasn't officially opened.
No, I'm glad you asked that question. That's 6 down and 4 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
It has not had previews. Are we to deduce this?
That's what you're to deduce.
Golly.
Yet to be seen at all.
Did you, have you ever been a leading man, or have you ever played a leading role in a movie, too?
1 or 2?
Did you play a famous composer and the life story of that composer?
Nope.
That makes it 7 down and 3 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Have you got a famous, very famous father?
Nope.
8 down and 2 to go, Miss Francis.
Now, there are 2 musicals that are about to open in New York. One is What Made Sammy Run, and the other is Foxy, that I know of. Are you associated with either one of those shows?
Yep.
Doesn't sound like Burt Law.
Could be.
Are you Burt Law?
No.
Oh, no, because he'd be... Why would you make me say that, Bennett?
5 down and 1 to
He's not a
go.
leading man.
Have you had anything to do with the show that is on Broadway now that is a huge, tremendous smash, opened several years ago?
What?
I don't know.
Did I say that too quickly?
What
I was asking, does this particular individual have anything to do with a show that is on Broadway now that opened several years ago in connection in any capacity?
The name of which is?
How to Succeed.
No.
10 down and no more to go. And please take off your masks and meet an old friend, Johnny Mercer.
I thought any minute that falsetto was going to crack.
No, we were thinking of actors.
We
not
thought of somebody
composers.
in it.
I
not
know,
connected.
because you said,
Yeah.
did you perform, and have you been in any movies? And I happen to have performed, and I have been in movies, but you should have said about the
Watched
writing.
this afternoon on the Harold Arlen show, which I thought was superb.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. Actually, Foxy is the movie. I mean, is the musical comedy, which is going to open this week.
Sunday, yes, 16.
Next Sunday. Johnny, isn't this rare to have a musical comedy open on Sunday night?
Yes, I think it is a little rare. We were planning on opening on the 13th, and then I think somebody else was due to come in on the 15th, so we pushed it back to the 16th.
Yeah.
And now they're coming in on the 27th.
I think so.
It sounds like the train schedules for the New Haven of the New York Central in the middle of winter. But I must say, I am one of those who owe you a great deal. I've been nominated 4 times for Oscars and won 2. But I grew up with the music that you're a part of, and it's good to have a chance to thank you personally for all the pleasure you've given us.
My pleasure.
Why don't you sing one more for the road as you go out, John?
4 to 3.
Bye-bye, Johnny. All right, let's see what we can do with the second challenger. Will you enter and sign in, please? Irving Cantor, is that right, sir?
That's right, sir.
Mr. Cantor, where are you from?
New York City?
From New York City. Well, may I formally present the panel, but I think probably you know them already by sight. Will you join me over here? We'll let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. All right, panel, we can tell you that Mr. Cantor is salaried and deals in a product. And we'll begin the general questioning with Bennett, sir.
Mr. Cantor, is your product used by both sexes?
Yes.
Is there any printed material connected with your product?
No.
Not at all?
No printed material. 1 down and 9 to go, Miss Francis.
Well, Mr. Cantor, the audience is wonderfully entertained by whatever the product is. Is it a product that would be seen on the person?
Yes.
Would it be seen from the waist up?
Yes.
Is it possible that it would be seen from the neck up?
Yes.
Would it be seen in the area of the head?
Yes, it would.
Now, we have just had an awful lot of publicity in this town about a group that's come from England. I may be all off the track here, but if you are responsible in any way for increasing the popularity of the beetle wig, we're in big trouble.
Just what I was going to say.
Miss Francis, may I ask you, what is your question?
My question is, do you have anything whatsoever to do with the beetle wig?
Yes, I do.
Are you a wig maker?
Right, I guess we'll have to get
Sorry.
it to it. Well, just to give me some exercise, we'll throw those all over. I think that one of the things that amuses me, and I hope that Mr. Cantor doesn't object, is that he is with the Lowell Toy Manufacturing Company.
Oh.
And it's the Lowell Toy Manufacturing Company that makes the beetle wigs.
Are they very popular? Are people buying them like mad?
Like mad.
How many are you making a day?
20,000 a day.
Oh, no.
Now, this may be a trade secret, and if I'm asking questions out of school, please don't answer it. How many orders do you have for them? Does this meet the
Well over 300,000.
You have orders for well over 300,000.
Mr. Cantor, do you have the mark so you know which to put front-wise and which back-wise?
They know pretty well.
Does it make any difference?
Oh, yes.
Are they worn on the head?
Are they worn on the head?
Yeah.
Yes, they're worn on the
Oh,
head.
I thought, the epaulets or something like
How
that.
much do they cost, Mr. Cantor?
$298.
I'll get you one, Bennett.
$2.98.
$298?
Actually, Bennett, you know, on these cold nights, and just in case anybody misunderstands, if they work, Bennett, I'll get one too. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Cantor, we didn't give them more trouble. I'm rather afraid that they had the Beatles much on their mind because, as I announced at the beginning, they've been next door this evening, and we had an obstacle course to follow just to get to our own theater so we could do our program tonight. But still, in all, we had a shot at it. I hope you enjoyed your visit, no matter how brief. It was nice to have you with us, Mr.
Thank
Cantor.
you.
Good night. We'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first, here is a word from our sponsor. Now we come to the special feature of our program for which my friends on the panel must remask. How's that for manufacturing language, Bennett? Your dictionary to the contrary notwithstanding, please put it in. Are the masks all in place?
Yes?
Good. Will our mystery challenger enter and sign in, please? right, panel. As you know, in this case, a different form of questioning, Mr. Darin particularly, one question at a time, in turn, moving clockwise, and let's start with you tonight, Mr. Darin.
Are you in the theatrical profession?
Yep.
Miss Kilgallen?
Are you primarily a movie actress?
Yep.
Mr. Cerf?
Are you the kind of movie actress who would raise John Daly's blood pressure several degrees just by sitting next to him?
The nicest thing that's been said about me and yours, Bennett, but the answer would be yes. Miss Francis?
Are you in a picture that is open at the present time?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Darin.
Do you have one coming out very shortly, which is getting an awful lot of attention in the press?
Yeah.
Miss Kilgallen.
Did you recently have lunch with the Queen of Greece?
No.
2 down, a date to go, Mr. Cerf.
Have you got a father named Henry Fonda?
Yes.
Then you're Jay.
That's right.
By doing my voice that way, I sounded more like my father than if I had...
Then if you hadn't attempted to disguise your voice? Well,
No, you didn't sound like your father,
You
Jane.
sounded like a girl, Jane, I'm afraid.
But we knew that Sunday in New York was about to open in about 48 theaters at one time.
it opens on Tuesday in New York, Sunday in New York. And I must say that one would have only to pick up any one of the current journals to find out that you are adding new luster to an already great name. We've been lucky enough to have your dad with us, and always been proud that he'd give us the time, and we want to thank you, too, for joining us.
My pleasure.
You've been working overseas for this.
Yes, I just came back 2 days ago.
Fine. Do you like working over there?
I
Now,
do,
this
but it's
is-
good to be back.
It's good to be back. Is there any great difference in terms of the joy that you take in working? And this may be a silly question. Do you have more fun over there when you're making a picture than you would here because you're in strange surroundings, have more things to see?
To a degree, yes, it's very exciting to, especially since one of the pictures I did over there was in French. And it's very exciting to work in another language.
You mean your French is so good that you can work in French?
Well, that remains to be seen, but it's good enough.
Well, congratulations. I don't know how many years of it, and I still can't order a meal. Well, I order the meal, but what I ordered isn't what I usually wind up with.
He always gets ham and eggs.
Bennett, I'll tell your joke again, you know, about the dentifrice. You want me to tell that again, Bennett? Anybody who's missed it, he's got a new product.
Oh.
The dentifrice with food particles in it for those who can't eat between brushings. Now, I must tell you, this is an old matter. Bennett told me that story, or I told it to Bennett. I forgot this conveniently months and months ago, and I'm going to slowly drive him mad because every time I get a chance, I tell it in front of other people. Well, we are very proud.
Maybe Miss Fonda remembers the story they tell about her father, you know, about the waiter who tried to make him drink absinthe all the time. And finally, he said, "Why do you make me drink absinthe all the time?" And the waiter said, "Because absinthe makes the heart grow, Fonda."
He told me that before.
Yeah,
He told me that before.
that's the trouble. You'll hear it again and again and again. Thank you very much for joining us, and
Thank
great
you.
congratulations on your success. Nice to have you with us. Well, I must admit, panel, that was a brilliant recovery, and so you get some congratulations, and we'll have another contestant after this word from our alternate sponsor.
We'll be
Final contestant, will you enter and sign in, please? Joel? Grossman, right? Mr. Grossman, where are you from?
Fort Lee, New Jersey.
Fort Lee, New Jersey. That's close on, isn't it?
Pretty
Just
close.
across the river. Fine. Mr. Grossman, may I present the panel?
Hello.
Now, would you join me here? We'll let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. All right. Panel, we can tell you that Mr. Grossman is salaried and deals in a product, and we'll begin the general questioning with Dorothy Kilgallen.
Mr. Grossman, could I hold this product in my hand?
Yes. Yes, you can.
I could lift it relatively easily.
Yes.
Is it solid rather than liquid?
Yes.
Would it be found in the home?
Yes.
Could both men and women use it?
Yes, I...
Could children use it?
Yes.
If I owned one of these things, would it be in plain sight when visitors came to call?
It could be.
Yes.
Now, this presupposes that the conditions prior to their arrival would indicate the necessity and the need for its display, but in such an event, it would be there.
Conditions are usually rather neat. I hope that doesn't get me a no, but is this thing a manufactured product?
Yes, it is.
Does it have any movable parts?
No.
No. 1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Sir.
Mr. Grossman, can this product be consumed?
Yes.
Is it consumed by putting it in one's mouth?
Yes, it is.
Is it you said it was a solid.
Yes.
Is it therefore some kind of food?
Yes.
Is it a food that is used at regular meal times?
Can
Yes.
be. Mm-hmm.
Would it be used more at one meal probably than others, possibly?
No.
Well, I would say with Mr. Grossman's consent here that it is likely that it might be used at one meal period rather than at another specific meal period. I have in mind here.
Goodness, I didn't expect all this from that simple question.
Mr. Grossman agrees, Bennett. We don't want to mislead you, but it is likely that it would be found more at one kind of meal than at another specific kind.
Might that meal be breakfast?
That's a very good question.
No.
Thank you very much. 2 down and 8 to go, Miss President.
Is the product an accessory to the meal rather than the regular course?
Yes.
Is it in any way spicy, or would it be in the condiment family?
Yes, it would.
Would it be in the... well, let me ask you this. Does it have a color that would make you think of springtime? How about that for a question? What color wouldn't?
Well, I guess we
Yes.
could say yes.
Is it green?
No. That's 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Darin.
I see. Would everybody at the table enjoy this? We've established that children might eat it, but everyone sitting at the table, would
Yes.
they would enjoy it. Is it eaten, am I correct in assuming it's eaten before the meal itself?
No.
No. That's 4 down and 6 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Is it likely to accompany a particular type of meat?
It could.
Several particular, you'd like to think several kinds of meat. Does it come in a jar, usually?
Yes.
Well, I have my choice of pickles or mustard. What do you say?
Well, it isn't pickles,
It's not green.
because it's not green.
You never saw any red
Well,
pickles?
black olive.
Solid.
Or oh, excuse me. I know there was no call for conference, John. I want to be the first to apologize. Does it have a distinctive color like red?
Red.
Ketchup.
Ketchup. That makes it 5 down and 5 to go, Bennett.
I forgot.
Was this a vegetable before
You're running
you
out of
had it put
time.
into a
You're
jar?
running out of time, Bennett. What is it?
Black olive.
No, it's mustard. Yellow. No, that's funny because you had it. And actually, Mr. Grossman is with the French's Mustard Company.
Is
one
that
of
a
the-
solid?
Solid.
Oh, yeah, that's a solid. It's not liquid.
Oh,
It's a
I don't know about
semi-solid.
that.
It's
It's
goopy.
a semi-solid.
Semi-solid,
Semi-solid,
that's what it is.
semi-liquid.
Thank you, Mr. Grossman. I'll fight with them about whether it's a semi-solid. Nice to have you with us, and that's my life. Well, I've used up almost all the time, so I just have time to say goodnight, Miss Francis.
Good night, and good night to you, Bobby Darin, and good luck with the entire Heart Association.
Thank you very much. Good night, John. Good night, Dorothy. Thank you.
Come again, Bobby. Good night, Bennett.
Night, Ringo.
Oh, don't tempt me. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being with us on What's My Line?
What's My Line is a CBS television network production in association with Mark Goodson and Bill Cotton. This is Johnny Olson speaking.